It's me. And today, as you can tell by the title, like right about here, right over here, not over here. Sorry, I'm not used to the mirrored effect. We're going to be doing, I'm gonna be reading the Hetalia Access Powers creepypasta thing, or for episode 23.5. And oh, hey Cat, hey, you wanna be in my video? You wanna be in my video, Cat? Sure. What are we doing anyway? Oh, you didn't hear me? We're gonna be reading Access Powers Hetalia episode 23.5, the creepypasta wiki thing. You wanna read it? Yeah! Okay, you wanna go paragraph by paragraph? Sure. Okay guys,
you start.
This might take some time.
Yeah, it may take a while.
Hey everybody, good buddy Keo here. I'm not really used to this. Sorry about the nervousness, but I'm not really sure about how to go about this. I mean, sort out of the blue, and I just wanted to at least put what happened out there for other Hetalia fans like myself. I guess I'll just type, or whatever, and just get this through. As much of an interesting experience as
the bacon thawed?
I'd rather not remember it and continue on with my dork life. I'm not sure. I'll go check. No, I will. It's your turn to read.
Okay. Alright, so this happened a while ago before school started that it went down. But I should probably go back even further to when it really first started. It was when Access Powers Hetalia was in full swing. See, the second season was still bounding through the fandom and giving out new glorious episodes every Monday. Should I read the next one?
Yeah, I'll catch up in a minute.
My older sister and I were both involved in the series, which was a rare occasion since she often didn't share interests with me.
Should I like get tape and tape this thing down? Like tape the pixels onto the plate?
Sure.
Okay. We'll try it.
Oh sure, I would force myself to get into whatever she was getting into so we could at least have a reason to hang out. But this was the first she came into my fandom without me working for it. It was really nice, considering it was still unknown for our small town. It was even nicer to just have someone to relate to. Should I read the next one?
Yes, again, I will catch up.
She and I cosplayed together, watched episodes together, got merchandise together, you know, the whole kit caboodle. Though she...
I own a kitten caboodle.
A kitten caboodle?
Mm-hmm. I own one.
Though she was always able to get more stuff than I was because she actually had a job. At some point, she actually bought a bootleg DVD of Hetalia so she could watch it any time. A picture of which I provide here. I provided here thanks to my mother lending me her camera for a second before she had sold it to the next week. Pause.
We are using the YouTube capture on my computer. We're using the YouTube your webcam recorder, you babe. So stop it. So we can't insert a picture, but I will link down below to the page we're reading off of so you guys can see what we are seeing. Remember to do that.
Okay.
Also, look at my flag! I drew this!
Yeah, America!
I drew it! Look at that! I'm so proud of myself! I did even do 50 stars. 50.
Let me count.
Yeah, see, just
let me count.
10 and then 5. 10 times 5
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're right. I hate you. I'm gonna make sure it's 50.
Well, she counts that. Look at my phone! Look what America got for me!
on 4.
You know about me too. Awesome. Let's sleep in it. I'm gonna go make that bacon.
Screw you.
You're just jealous that I actually have the patience to count for once in my life.
I have patience.
I have no patience. Remember that one time where Iggy told us to wait like 5 minutes and he'd be back, and after like 30 seconds I was screaming, "Where's Iggy?" Remember that one time when Iggy left and left the house for me and you in America, your brother?
That was stupid.
I
Creepy girl. Creepy girl.
murdered.
Creepy girl, creepy man, and creepy other girl.
I murdered her face off.
No, you didn't. You smacked her in the face. You smacked her in the face, she flew back, and then she started chasing you all the way to the room.
That was America. I was the one who like hid and then pulled out my dagger and went all wacha wacha. Also, out of character, we like to put ourselves into the story or into the Heta game. So this is based off of a Heta game called Well, England's Away. Go check it out. It's awesome. I will link it to it in the description below.
Just to let you know, I think there's cheats to it. Ah, you hit me with your phone!
I'm sorry! Don't throw it at me! I'm genuinely sorry!
What's your password? Do you have a password?
Yeah.
What the?
I'll never get the password.
I don't need it.
Just stop screwing around on my phone and get back to reading.
I can't.
You want
I
any?
found your games.
You want any bacon?
Fine.
See, guys, that's how I get Kat to do things. I use bacon. Or she gets me to do things too. She gets me bacon. She and I will do anything for bacon.
Spilled your milk.
Okay.
I cleaned it up.
Okay, get back to reading, Kat.
You better give me bacon. I love bacon.
I love the
I found your games. I have to. Oh my God, you are raping me. Don't rape me.
Get back to reading the content. You're crazy.
I love you. I'm Yowie.
Shut up. It'd be Yuri.
I'm Yowie.
Shut up.
Yuri.
Shut the hell up and get back to reading.
I just let you know there might be mild humor. Okay. So where were we?
Warning, caution to those of you who are weak stomached. Yeah, weak stomached. If you are weak stomached, I don't recommend you
To watch the rest of this video.
I don't recommend you can watch up to where you feel like you're going to throw up. If you need to pause, take a break, do so, please. We don't want you throwing up all over your computer. It does get quite gory.
Yeah. Shall we restart again?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna restart that. Chapter. She and I cosplayed together. We watched videos together, got merchandise together. You know, the whole kit caboodle. Though she was always able to get more stuff than I was because she actually had a job. At some point, she actually bought a bootleg DVD of Hetalia so she could watch it anytime. A picture of which I provide here thanks to my mother lending me her camera for a second before she had sold it the next week. Of course, all the episodes was being ripped from the international sites that had them subbed. I watched 1 or 2 episodes with her, but really I was content with watching them online, so I left her to it. About 2 or 3 days after she got the DVD, she acted really weird.
You guys may be wondering how weird. Well,
It's the best way I can describe it. At a drop of a hat, she dropped the whole Hetalia series. setting aside her merchandise and shelving her Hetalia cosplays, even selling some of them. When I tried to ask her about what's up, she just said she didn't want to talk about it, to the point that she glared at me if I mentioned it to her. I was extremely disappointed at losing my sister when it came to sibling bonding in the fandom. At the time, just figuring she grew out of it or found something even better was the mindset, especially fit in when she started to read Homestucks soon after it had something to do.
I'm back. My turn. How many paragraphs do I owe you?
A lot.
3 or 4?
3.
Okay, 3.
Or 4.
3. Now here's where it got even weirder. It's been a while since then, probably like a month or so. I'm not sure why. Probably a phone call from my best friend. I got the urge to watch some episodes again with some classic good old Italy. Though currently the internet was being worked out by my father. He was changing phone providers at that and all that mess. So I decided to look for the Hetalia DVD my sister had. It took me a long while, but I found it shoved in the back of the DVD cabinet. Not sure why she shoved it back there. Well, at the time, the bootleg wasn't that bad, really. It had fan art of everyone as TVs around the world with the title at the top. Same for the disc, just printed on fan art. I popped the DVD into the player in my room, decided to look through episodes to find a really fun one. Maybe the one where Romana was first introduced. As I went through the episode choice option, though, I found something really weird in between episodes 23 and 24. For those who don't know, it's the Liechtenstein and Switzerland episode. Sorry, I can't pronounce that country. Very cute indeed. And the 24th has the conclusion of the access on the island arc. Don't eat any, just put it on the plate. But there was another square choice, like an episode, but there wasn't really a title next to it, saying what number it was or what the episode was about. It wasn't that it was untitled that caught my interest, but a screenshot of it. It was Italy smiling, like going upwards in content days. His eyes actually opened, mind you, with glistening eyes, and what looked like sand. Perhaps he was laying on it. This blew my friggin' mind. Before it was something new. I craved new things in a fandom, always. Perhaps this is a hidden chapter I wasn't aware of, like a bonus episode. I bit my lip and trembled with excitement. I knew I had this all to myself. Wait until my friends heard about this. I was going to be more knowledgeable than anyone else. Of course, when I looked back, I wish that I hadn't found it. Your turn! Your turn, Cap. Okay. Go ahead, just have this couch movie.
Without much ado, I clicked the select button on the remote to watch it. The title animation appeared as always, the large orchestra blaring out for a few seconds to show the Japanese
Kanji.
Kanji?
Kanji, that's how you pronounce the word. It's Japanese kanji of Hetalia.
Oh, of Hetalia. Oh. With accent towers next to it. Soon after it shifted to the view of the island that the Axis were stranded on, Japan and Germany sitting against the shade of a tree while Italy just laid in the sand, soaking up the sun with that cute, dumb look on his face.
You know, I'm just teasing you. Now, before I go on, I've read stories like this before about lost episodes of cartoons. Stories I don't believe in now, honestly. Or until now, honestly. And I know now that they went off about being in extremely bad quality, but this wasn't actually too bad. Sure, it wasn't the best quality. It was all quite pixelated from being ripped off site and then burned onto a disc. One at a time, one per paragraph. Cat.
Back to the episode.
Let me find where it was. But it was okay. The sound was just a tad muffled. Nothing too out of the ordinary, of course. Kind of made it creepier. Later on when it was to be seen better, but I'll get onto that in a bit.
Back to the episode. While Illy was sunbathing in his jacket and shorts, the camera cut over to Germany and Japan. So they looked a tad upset, if not worried. And then they started to speak. Two things threw me off. one, there were no subtitles, so I had zero idea of what they were talking about. And two, their voices were actually those who voiced them in the series. I was extremely impressed of such raw footage. I was a bit miffed there were no subs. Oh well, as long as Hiroki Yasumoto?
Sorry if you're watching this and you know you're famous. I know you're famous and you might not be watching this, but if you guys actually know how to pronounce that, I am sorry if we butchered the name. We can't pronounce Japanese.
Now you're making a mess.
I know, I'm going to clean it up. Come on, keep reading.
Okay. Wait, what? You already did that? I didn't those until then?
Japanese, say you kept talking. I was happy all the way. The two seemed to be chatting about something serious. Germany clutching his stomach from time to time in pain. Japan would nod and set a hand on his stomach as well. My guess is that they had run out of steady food. And
you're welcome for cleanup, you little mess.
Thank you. And on the island, or whatever. So they were starving. That was kind of a downer to start an episode on, but it was only the beginning. There's probably a fun way to get food later on. Just then Hetalia called out, having the two of them look back toward us, which is not currently running around in the ocean. It's your turn to pick up where I picked up for you.
He waved to them, and the two of them waved back unenthusiastically before the other went back to just playing in the southern water.
Your turn. Just a clicky button.
I didn't know this until then, but the only thing playing in the background of this was the ocean waves. Something not uncommon, but it certainly kept the atmosphere kind of stoic. Especially when the focus was to the hungry and worried nations in the shade. But either way, I was too sucked up in just the beautiful new material. I didn't question it. I didn't even care that I didn't know the bulk of it. I mostly cared for the actions anyway.
The nations were quiet for a while, before Japan had seemed to ask something of Germany and to look back at him in shock, almost exclaiming before being hushed by the island nation. Making him whisper the line and say, "Oh, what was Japan thinking, I thought?" Japan had repeated the Japanese statement in a more quieter and clearer tone, not taking his eyes off of Italy in the water. For a few moments, the two of them discussed the issue, obviously talking about the Italian, though soon enough the two of them nodded in agreement. At that moment, even though it was just for a few seconds, Germany had made the saddest face I'd ever seen. Like he had burst out into tears at any moment, but kept it back. I inwardly flipped my shit at such an emotion. Even if it was short though it made me wonder what more it brought on.
The scene changed to nighttime. The three nations huddled around the fire for warmth. Though they seemed at least content with their jackets on, as usual, Italy was fast asleep next to it, sleeping contentedly while leaving the other two nations to their thoughts. Still, only the sound of the oceans crashing against the shore was heard in the background as the two were silent. Though soon enough, the camera panned over them, giving each other a subtle nod.
Here's about where it gets a little bit gruesome. One sec.
Okay. In unison, the two stood up over Illy and picked him up very carefully, not wanting to wake him up.
Hey, Cat, what you doing? What you doing?
Reading.
What you reading?
Creepypasta.
Oh, you mean those things that I website I made? Okay, I'm gonna go find Canada.
Okay. Thanks for interrupting. At this point, I was extremely confused. What were they planning to do with him? where they're going to a new location. Quietly, they shuffled the sleeping nation over to the ocean and carefully set him face down. Japan setting his hands over the other's head so to keep it still below the water surface. It didn't take long until Italy began to thrash around, bubbles popping furiously on the water next to his head. Only having Japan press down harder while Germany was looking away with his eyes closed and lip being bitten onto hard. While this was going on, my mouth was hanging ajar. Japan and Germany were drowning Italy? Why? As I watched his insanity, I recognized the words, "Sorry, Italy."
Woman sigh, Hetalia.
Come from Japan. Sorry, Italy. What the hell? Now I get my bacon. Because you were being lazy.
About 15 seconds later, which felt like almost forever watching the coordination, Italy's limbs fell to plop. Plop. 1 second. Plop. There we go. Into the water. The bubbles ceasing to rise anymore. The deed was done. But why? Japan and Germany picked up the waterlogged Italy, brought him back to the shore. Please aim down next to the fire while Germany is satisfied. Staring at the fire, as they contemplated what they just did. Japan unsheathed his sword and kneeled down next to the corpse. Getting off his own jacket and setting it aside, with one more to the bottom before back down. Japan took a deep breath before making an incision at the base of his neck all the way down to the belly button. Cutting it a bit more.
Like it's mine?
She was able to reveal the bloody organs of the once living nation.
Just to give,
you want one blueberry because I want one more piece of bacon.
Okay. At this, I had to pause the episode, feeling quite lightheaded at this. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, I read and looked at gory Hetalia stuff, but seeing it down in Studio Dean style and done in official voices, or if it's fake, a really good artist and very good sound likes, it was just way too surreal for me. And while I had the TV paused, I had a good chance to look at Italy's insides. God, that sounds so weird as I type this. And they just look so real. Not that they were hyper-cammed, but as if the artist had stared at the inside anatomy of a person for hours, drawing every little curve to make it realistic. Your turn. I walked to the...
Oh, I wanted to stop watching. I wanted to just turn it off and abandon that TV with the DVD inside, but I was already too tired. I had to see this through to the end. I would haunt me for the rest of my life if I stopped here. Taking a short breather and drinking some water, I pressed play on my remote to resume the madness.
Instantly, I was greeted by a slurp sound of Japan sliding his hand into Italy's body and pulling out one of the organs out of place. It looking like a liver, with it so detailed it was hard not to mistake the organ. Japan sighed as he cut off the connecting strand with his sword and set the mess of an organ onto the other's discarded jacket before going back in and setting aside a kidney, both of them. While Japan searched around, Germany reached over to some sharpened sticks he seemed to have gathered earlier and penetrated the sharp end through each organ that Japan had laid out. With a saddened sigh, he set the organ kebabs on a range on the fire so it could get cooked, which I didn't know how that was even possible. Once more, after seemingly a long period of time, Germany pulled the now-cooked liver from the fire while handing Japan, who accepted it with his arm still blood-smeared, a kidney, both of them. Both of them were in, a kidney. Both of them were in silence before Japan murmured,
"I'll be back." I know how to pronounce it. Please.
"You should eat all the blueberries!"
No, I wasn't. What do you mean? Where were you? Ikidamisu, or let's eat. And both too large right from it. Ugh, it still makes me feel weird when I think about seeing that scene. That lightheaded as faded as I heard something that made me gasp. Did Nihon? Or Germany? Japan?
So both of them turned in shock. The camera panning over to show that Italy was awake. What? How's he awake?
They drowned him! Or was he just unconscious? Oh, where are you going? Bathroom? Maybe? Okay. Don't show my blueberries! Hell, I wasn't even sure what was going on. Seemed like the other two had no idea either. Germany and Japan tried to explain themselves, but Italy began to grow more panicked, slowly getting what was happening, began to scream.
Angleterre!
In pain.
Angleterre!
In What? France, I'm busy here. I have no clue where Iggy went. I think he went to the store to get more blueberries or something. No, they're my blueberries! No!
I'll leave once you give me at least a couple blueberries.
Why? Why do you want Iggy? Tell me why you want Iggy.
I wanted to take you guys to the park. Or at least in Come here. Covered in hair. What's old cat hair? I'll still eat it.
My family's great, right?
Nope.
Sorry, guys. No way, France.
Fine. If you see Angleterre, tell him to come to me.
Okay. Whatever. In pain and sadness, I couldn't even pinpoint what emotion was there. But it was so weird to hear him like that.
Come on, Gigi again. Come on, Gigi. Tell us to me.
There you go, okay. There you go, Canada. Canada?
Yeah?
I don't know. My family's crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah, my family's crazy.
Hmm?
My family's crazy. Slowly getting what was happening, he began to scream in pain and fear and sadness. I can't even pinpoint what emotion was that.
Haley Maples.
Oh! I have to say this, guys. Like, I seriously, legitimately have to say this. Hey, what's up?
And then, what's up? Un momento, guys. Hey! Okay. Continuing. The both of them turned in shock, the camera panning over to show that Italy was awake. What? How was he awake? They drowned him. Or was he just unconscious? Hell, I wasn't even sure what was going on. And it seemed like the other two had no idea either. Germany and Japan tried to explain themselves, but Italy began to grow more panicked, slowly getting what was happening, and began to scream in pain, fear, sadness. I couldn't even pinpoint what emotion was there. It was so weird to hear him like that. It almost sounded like the man voicing him was in a large amount of pain himself. Germany went over to him Germany and Japan went over him, trying to get him to be quiet. Though after a large confusion of everyone yelling at once, Germany was the one to finally scream for everyone to be quiet, shaking Italy to try and make him quiet, resulting to just tugging the curl to make him stop momentarily. At this point, when I should have laughed, I was practically at the point of tears. Germany talked, trying to appear strong, and tried to explain the situation. My guess of the situation was there was no food left, so they were going to eat Italy, since he was the weakest. Though he was a nation, right? They were all nations. No, I have not. I went to go find Kumijiji. Why did they have to resort to that?
Hey, Kat,
was that why Italy
Canada? Do you think Canada?
No.
It's probably taken fair to him.
Sure.
Hey,
Soon enough, Italy gave an understanding nod, whimpering in pain and fear as well. He sputtered out something, pausing at a point to cough, blood drooling down his chin. Now, it was Japan's turn to talk, seeming to try and comfort him in a soothing tone. And after his small speech, Italy nodded once more before looking down, seeing that Germany was gripping his hand tightly. With another nod from the German and Japanese nation, Japan went back over and scooped his hand into his now somewhat functioning body, pulled and cutting out his spleen and setting it aside. Germany comforting Italy while being harvested. Screenshot taken by Fire. Italy almost screamed, reduced to a sort of mixture of whimpering and sobbing. The camera cut into view of his and Germany's hand becoming more constricted against each other. The shot panned up to the frowning Germany, who once glanced toward Japan's work before speaking again. Calling Italy's attention, he spoke for a bit, trying to smile. And soon Italy smiled back at him. For once in the series, actually opened his eyes to reveal the golden honey color, and called him the familiar word he used to call him, Captain. Then there was a time skip, and soon a large portion of organs was lying on Italy's jacket. Things I could recognize being intestines, pancreas, bladder, practically everything but the brain, lungs, and heart. Japan wiped an arm to its forehead, smearing it with blood accidentally before impaling them on sticks and sticking them near the fire. He turned back to Germany, who was still holding Italy's hand. He crawled over to get a closer look, and Italy had seemed to pass on again, his eyes lightly glistening and staring blankly upwards with a small smile on his face. This shot was the very one shown in the menu. Japan looked up to Germany, seeing that he was frowning, blue eyes glistening with tears, as he still tried to get over what has happened to him. Japan set a hand on his shoulder, murmuring something seemingly comforting, making Germany nod in agreement and sigh shakily. Japan frowned lightly at this before he moved aside, grabbing the dead Italian's free hand and squeezing it lightly, saying something to Germany before looking to the fire where the organs were roasting. You got blood? Are you sure? Where are you?
roasting. Germany glanced back to the fire for a moment before he looked up to the sky where Italy was staring, campaigning upwards toward the stars and everything until it went completely black. then the next episode started playing. Just like that, no credits or anything. Just left the episode on a cryptic or optimistic note. I have no idea. I wish I could have run on my computer to get screenshots, but the disc refuses to play on it for some reason. Don't really have a good enough snap clear picture, a good camera, snap clear picture. My friend Fia was kind enough to get 2 screenshots for me, though the disc only worked on her computer for so long. Rather not look at that again. It may sound bad when you read this, but that made me get away from Hetalia for a while, honestly. Though I'm not as weak-stomached as my sister, I still love this series, and I will continue to love it. But since then, I refuse to watch any anime episodes. I prefer to see fan-made go over official ones anytime. So I will link in the description below to the oh, sorry about that, guys. Sorry if you couldn't see our faces for a while. But I will link in the description below to the page you're reading off of. Yes, this episode has been filled with food. Lots of food. This is not the first time we read it. We read this once before. This, like, right before it was...
She almost puked.
I
was completely fine.
I did. I almost puked. But I didn't because I didn't have any food in my stomach, so I couldn't puke. Thankfully, that would have been bad if I did have food in my stomach, though. And I did puke. That would have been really bad.
She got puked all over the computer. Move your fork!
Hold on. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Remember, you guys will be seeing more of Kat in future episodes, and once we can figure out how to work the featured channel thing, you guys can go subscribe to our joined channel of Allison and Kat. It'll be just us guys. Also, out of character, it'll be just in character for you guys. Maybe a couple out of character updates and stuff. Put that in your mouth, damn it. So remember, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later.
Smash the button with your face nuggets! Don't forget the face nuggets.
Don't forget, if you're new to my channel, smash that subscribe button with your face nuggets. If you like the video, don't forget to smash the like button with your face nuggets. Smash everything with your face nuggets, people.
Everything.
Oh, and if you did actually smash it with your face, amazing. Comment down below why I smashed it with
Take
your face.
a video of that and show it to us.
No, or you can just do a video response to this video and...
Well, tell us you smashed it with your face nuggets.
Or tell us in the description, I smashed it with my face nuggets. Snap. Yeah, snap.
I got a mustache.
You're 2P, which one is it? 2P Illy?
I'm 2P Illy.
I think. I don't know.
Oh, I should do this upside down. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. Oh.
I will eat you.
I got a fork. I'll eat you. I'll eat it. Okay, why is it that we have food in every episode? Seriously. Every episode we have food in it! I'm sure you should help me.
At least we're not like my brother America. Constantly stuffing our face with hamburgers.
I love that!
Stop it.
We're not actually eating you.
We're just going like this.
Smack on the computer.
No, wait! No, move your hand. We're just going like this.
And also, if you have friends, tell them about us.
Yep. Don't forget to go to our conjoined channel of Allison and Kat. We'll be posting our first video there later today. So, bye guys. Bye.